There's a secret that the most magnetic women in the world know, a secret that has nothing to do with being the youngest, the prettiest, or the richest. It's not about having flawless skin, the perfect body, or playing endless games to keep a man's attention. No, this secret is far deeper, far more powerful, and once you understand it, it will completely change how men see you. This secret is so subtle that most women miss it, but when you use it, even just once, a man will choose you, even if he has 1,000 other options in front of him. Have you ever noticed how some women seem to draw men toward them without even trying? It's not always the most beautiful woman in the room. Sometimes it's the one who carries herself with an invisible presence, so magnetic that men who were once distracted suddenly pay attention to her, as if she's the only woman who exists. Psychologist Walter Riso, one of the most respected relationship experts in Latin America, studied this phenomenon for decades. Through years of research, he discovered something revolutionary, a truth that explains why some women are effortlessly chosen while others are constantly overlooked, no matter how much effort they put in. And today, I'm going to share that secret with you. But first, I need to tell you something that may be a little uncomfortable. Most women are actually doing the complete opposite of what they should be doing. Instead of stepping into their true power, they end up competing for male attention. They try too hard to prove their worth. They overgive, they overcompromise, and they put themselves last. And what happens? Instead of standing out, they become invisible. Have you ever felt this? You give your all. You try to be the perfect woman, kind, supportive, understanding, even self-sacrificing, and still he doesn't choose you. Still he keeps you as just another option rather than the one woman he can't live without. That pain of not being chosen is one of the deepest wounds a woman can carry. It whispers in your mind, you're not enough. You need to be prettier, you need to be younger, you need to be more interesting. And the more you believe those lies, the more you lose touch with your real essence. But here's the truth. That pain is not a punishment. It's actually a doorway. A doorway into your real feminine power. The kind of power that makes a man see you as the choice, not just an option. Walter Riso discovered that the women who are truly chosen aren't the ones who compete, chase, or sacrifice themselves. They are the ones who embody something he called feminine magnetic presence. Now, what does that mean? Think about it this way. When a man meets a woman with this presence, something ancient awakens inside him. It's not about logic or checklists. It's primal. It's instinctive. A man suddenly feels drawn to her without even knowing why. This isn't about seduction tricks or manipulative tactics. It's not about texting him less, pretending to be unavailable, or playing mind games. In fact, those things usually push men away. Feminine magnetic presence is something much deeper. It's about being so connected to your own essence, your own worth, that you naturally inspire him. You don't need to compete with anyone else because your energy speaks louder than any words ever could. Here's the paradox that Walter Riso uncovered. In order to be chosen by a man, you first have to choose yourself. That's right. It starts with you. Not in a selfish or arrogant way, but in a sacred way. It means reconnecting with the woman you were before the disappointments, before the heartbreaks, before society told you who you needed to be. It means standing in your own completeness. Because here's what most women get wrong. When you try to impress a man, he pulls away. When you work overtime to be perfect, his interest fades. Why? Because he doesn't want to be impressed. He wants to be inspired. He doesn't want to feel like you're competing with him. He wants to feel like you're complimenting him. That's the key difference. When you choose yourself first, you radiate confidence without even trying. You show up as the woman who knows her worth without needing anyone else to validate it. And men feel this energy instantly. It's like walking into a room with a quiet glow that everyone notices. You don't have to chase. You don't have to beg for attention. You just are. This is why some women, even without being conventionally attractive, end up being unforgettable. Their presence lingers in a man's mind. He thinks about them even when he doesn't want to, because their energy touches something deeper than surface-level attraction. So how do you tap into this magnetic presence? The first step is to stop giving your power away. Stop trying to prove yourself to men. Stop competing with other women. Stop believing that your value comes from what you do for someone else. Instead, begin choosing yourself every day. Ask yourself, what do I truly want? What makes me feel alive? What am I no longer willing to settle for? When you honor your needs, your desires, and your boundaries, you naturally start radiating self-respect. And nothing is more attractive than a woman who respects herself. The second step is to reconnect with your feminine energy. Not the version of femininity that society sells. Perfect hair, perfect makeup, perfect smile. No, real femininity is about being in touch with your softness, your intuition, your ability to receive, and your inner stillness. It's about being authentic rather than performing. Men are not drawn to women who pretend. They're drawn to women who are fully themselves, comfortable in their own skin. And the third step is presence. Most people are distracted, scrolling, rushing, worrying. But when you slow down, when you are fully present in the moment, you create an aura that makes others lean in. A man feels seen in your presence. He feels grounded. And that's when his heart recognizes you as different from the rest. Here's the beautiful truth. When you choose yourself first, you will stop settling for crumbs of attention. You will stop being one of many and instead become the woman who is unforgettable, the woman who is chosen. So let me leave you with this. You don't need to fight for love. You don't need to be younger, prettier, or more perfect. You simply need to return to the power that has always been inside you, the power of your feminine, magnetic presence. Do this once. Truly choose yourself, and he will feel it. He will recognize it. And even if he has endless options, you will be the one he can't let go of, because the woman who chooses herself first will always be the one who is chosen. There is a version of you that is not afraid of vulnerability, because she understands that vulnerability is not weakness, but strength. There is a version of you that is not afraid of love, because she knows that real love does not diminish who you are, it multiplies you. Psychologist Walter Riso calls this return to the sacred feminine. And when a woman makes this journey back to herself, something extraordinary happens. She becomes like a lighthouse. Her light can be sensed from afar, and while not every man can handle it, the right man, the one who is ready for true love, will be drawn to it without fear. This is the beauty of the sacred feminine. It acts as a filter. Insecure men will feel intimidated. Immature men will feel unworthy. Only the man who is prepared for real love will approach with respect and courage. When you live from this place, you automatically stop attracting men who only want to play games, who are emotionally unavailable, or who only see you as temporary. Instead, you begin to attract men who are ready to choose, to commit, and to love. Now let's be clear. Returning to the sacred feminine does not mean becoming passive. It does not mean submitting or losing yourself. On the contrary, it means becoming strong in a way very few people truly understand. Strong without aggression, confident without arrogance, radiant without needing to prove anything. A woman who has mastered this secret moves through the world differently. She carries herself differently. She speaks differently. She loves differently. And men can feel the difference in every cell of their body. But here's the question: what exactly is this secret? What is the one thing you can do that changes everything? The answer may surprise you, because it isn't something you do for him. It's something you do for yourself. And paradoxically, that's exactly what makes him choose you above all others. Walter Rizzo spent decades studying relationships and discovered that the secret can be summed up in one word: surrender. Not surrender as weakness, not giving up your power, but surrender as the bravest act a woman can make. It's about surrendering to your true feminine nature, your natural flow, your authenticity, your wholeness. When you stop fighting against yourself, when you stop forcing love to happen, you begin to radiate an energy that is irresistible. So what does surrender actually look like? It means letting go of the need to control outcomes. It means releasing the urge to force someone to love you. It means trusting that when you are fully yourself, the right love will naturally be drawn to you. In practice, this surrender is very simple, yet very powerful. It looks like a woman who no longer makes herself constantly available just to prove her worth. She no longer sacrifices her needs just to please a man. She no longer rushes to solve his problems or to carry his burdens as a way to earn his affection. Instead, she begins to live her own life fully. She keeps her world rich, vibrant, and meaningful, whether or not he is part of it. Such a woman becomes like a paradise island in the middle of the ocean, whole, magnetic, and alive in herself. Men sense this instantly. Their instincts recognize it even before their minds do. And here's the key: when a man feels that a woman doesn't need him, but still chooses to be with him, it awakens something deep within his psyche. The instinct to pursue comes alive, not to conquer, but to be worthy of her. Let me give you a real example. Maria was 45. For almost 10 years, she tried to win back her ex-husband. She did everything she could, always available, always supportive, always trying to prove she was the perfect woman. But no matter what she did, he came and went. He never truly chose her. When Maria learned this secret, she did something radical. She stopped. She stopped calling. She stopped waiting. She stopped bending over backward to please him. Instead, she began to live her life again. She picked up painting, a passion she had abandoned years before. She started traveling alone. She built new friendships and rediscovered her old dreams. And then something magical happened. The more whole she became without him, the more he desired her. A few months later, he showed up at her door, asking for another chance. Not because she had chased him, but because she had become unforgettable. But here's the deeper truth: surrender is not a tactic. It is not a game. It is not about playing hard to get. It is a genuine internal shift, a return to yourself. And when you embody it, you naturally radiate an energy no one can fake. Walter Rizzo describes 3 pillars of this sacred surrender: emotional independence. This doesn't mean you don't need love. It means your sense of wholeness does not depend on any one man. You are complete within yourself. Conscious presence. When you're with a man, you are fully there. When you're not, you are fully in your own life. You don't obsess or wait anxiously. Your life remains rich and alive with or without him. Unconditional self-love. You love yourself not because of achievements or perfection, but simply for who you are. This kind of self-love becomes like an invisible fragrance that naturally attracts love from others. When these 3 pillars align, something extraordinary happens. You become like a flame, and men are like moths. They cannot resist your light, and The best part? This is not about manipulating men. It's not about tricks. It's about returning to your truest self. From that place, you don't just attract any man, you attract the right man. The one who recognizes your wholeness. The one who doesn't feel threatened by your independence, but inspired by it. The one who doesn't try to diminish your light, but to grow alongside it. That is where the miracle happens. When you stop chasing love, love begins to chase you. When you stop trying to become someone else and instead choose yourself, love finds you. And when you love yourself fully, you become irresistible to the people who truly matter. This works at any stage of life, whether you're young or older, whether you've been single for years or are just stepping out of a painful breakup. It even works if you want to heal or rekindle a relationship. Because the real secret is not in your outer circumstances, it is in your inner transformation. The woman who embodies this sacred surrender never begs for love again. She never accepts crumbs of attention. She never settles for half-hearted relationships. Instead, she becomes selective, not out of arrogance, but out of wisdom. She knows her love is sacred, and only a man who is ready for real love will be able to hold it, and the man who is lucky enough to win her heart. He knows he has found a treasure. He doesn't take her for granted because he feels that every single day she chooses him, consciously, freely, and without fear. That conscious choice creates a love that feels unshakable, deep, and lasting. And this is the secret that can transform your love life forever. It's not about playing games. It's not about pretending to be someone else. The truth is, it's about being who you really are, without masks, without fear, and without needing to prove your worth. Once you see this, you can't unsee it. Once you understand the power of your authentic feminine energy, you can no longer settle for anything less than what you truly deserve. But let me be real with you, this shift is not easy. It challenges almost everything society has taught us about love. You'll have to unlearn patterns you've carried for years, maybe even decades. You'll have to let go of the belief that you need to earn love by chasing it. You'll have to release the idea that your value depends on whether a man approves of you. And most importantly, you'll need to stop clinging to the fear of being alone. Instead, you'll have to trust. Trust that when you're truly yourself, the right love will find you. Trust that you deserve a love you don't have to beg for. Trust that the man who is meant for you will choose you, not despite who you are, but because of who you are. Now imagine waking up every day knowing you are already complete, with or without a man by your side. Imagine the freedom to love without fear, without clinging, without trying to control the outcome. Imagine walking into a relationship not because you need someone to feel whole, but because you choose to share your already full, rich life with someone who adds to it. That changes everything. At work, you'll stop seeking constant validation and start trusting your own judgment. With your friends, you'll stop competing and start celebrating each other. And most importantly, with yourself, you'll build a foundation of self-respect and love that strengthens every other relationship in your life. Psychologist Walter Riso found in his research that women who reconnect with themselves don't just attract better partners, they also create better, more fulfilling relationships. Why? Because when you're not dependent on someone else to make you feel whole, you can love fully, give without draining yourself, and receive without feeling like you owe something in return. Men notice this instantly. A man in a relationship with such a woman doesn't feel pressured to be her entire source of happiness. He doesn't feel like he has to walk on eggshells or constantly fix her moods. Instead, he feels free to simply be himself. And in that freedom, love flourishes. Here's the paradox though, once you embrace this shift, you'll actually become more selective. Men who once seemed interesting will reveal their immaturity. Relationships you once tolerated will suddenly feel unacceptable, and that's not a loss, it's growth. When you raise your inner standards, you naturally attract people who are on your level. Some women fear this change. What if I end up
Alone? They ask. But the truth is, it's far better to be whole and alone than to be together and empty.
It's better to experience one true love than a string of half-hearted relationships. And once you step into your true self, you rarely stay alone for long because your energy becomes magnetic. People will be drawn to you not because you chase, but because your presence radiates confidence and authenticity. Picture this. Instead of worrying about impressing a man, you show up fully yourself. Instead of fearing whether he'll call, you're too busy living your fulfilling life. Instead of being consumed by doubt, you're curious about who he really is. That shift is powerful. The man senses it immediately. He realizes he's standing before a woman who values herself, and that inspires him to rise and be worthy of her. And here's the most beautiful part. It's contagious. When you begin to truly love yourself, you inspire other women around you to do the same. When you stop competing with other women and start supporting them, you uplift the entire energy around you. Your friends will notice. Your family will feel it. And the men in your life, every single one of them, will respond to this energy in ways that surprise you. Old flames might resurface. New men may appear in unexpected places. But this time, you'll no longer accept just any attention. You'll decide consciously who deserves your energy, your heart, and your presence. You'll only give yourself to a man who proves he is ready for the kind of love you offer. And that, my dear, is the greatest gift of all. You will never again settle for less than you deserve. Because once a woman chooses herself every single day, she becomes irresistible to the right man. He will choose her not because she played a role, not because she begged, but because she is unapologetically herself. A woman who knows her worth radiates an energy that cannot be ignored. A woman who truly loves herself attracts real love, and the woman who chooses herself every single day will, in the right moment, be chosen by the right man. So remember this. Do this once. Choose yourself. And he will choose you, even if he has endless options.